Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. This is an explanation video to article review. The first assignment for Assessment Literacy and Performance Competencies EDU 485. And this assignment accounts for 10% of your overall assessment score. All right. So now that we get that out of the air, let's focus on what the assignment really asks you to do. Make sure that for this assignment, you have two documents ready. The first one is the article, and the second one is the assignment sheet. All right. So let's look at the article first. First and foremost, please be informed that you are not required or you are not allowed to select other article as a basis of this review. Everybody should use the same article, and this is the one. All right. So a bit of context with regard to this article. Following the pandemic, a lot of higher learning institutions had decided to eradicate the use of examinations altogether. And most of these institutions resorted to using formative assessment tasks, alternative assessment tasks, or authentic assessment tasks instead. Now that pandemic is over, the COVID-19 is not over. It's just that we are done with the pandemic phase. We are now in endemic phase with schools reopening, universities reopening, and the universities administrations and the school administrations are now at a crossroads. Should we adopt the same assessment structure that we had during the pandemic, or should we just continue in the same manner that we did prior to the pandemic with the examinations? So the authors of this article, Winston and Bout, have presented compelling arguments discussing and detailing why universities and educational institutions should no longer go with examinations and adopt other forms of assessments instead. So that's the gist of the article. Going forward with this article review, number one, read the article, understand the issue, understand the context and the content that this article are trying to present. All right. And then do additional reading. Read other articles that shed light on the same issue so that you have wider understanding, which will help you a lot in answering the questions pertaining to this review. Okay, so after you've done that, then answer these three questions. Okay, so we are going to have a bit of a brief overview, or we are going to go through these questions very briefly, one by one. Okay, so generally, when the question asks for discuss two arguments, evaluate one significant value, or support your answer with two justifications, this should be an indication of the number of paragraphs expected for each of these questions. So two arguments, two paragraphs, one value, one paragraph, two justifications, two paragraphs. All right. So two paragraphs should be slightly more than half a page. That should be the yardstick. But if you want to go longer than that, hey, do impress us. We'll be more than happy to go through and read your wonderful answers. Okay? Make sure that your answers, however long they are, have substance. All right? So in your answer, you might want to provide citations and cite other articles. Feel free to do that. But your main response should tie to this article. Okay, because this is the one that you are reviewing. Alright, so cakap banyak, marilah kita melihat soalan ini. Okay, discuss two arguments made by the authors on the limitations of examinations in measuring meaningful learning. Okay, so in the article, let me just get to the article first. Winston and Bout have dedicated one section in the article on meaningful learning. So, what are I'm going to identify just two arguments on how limiting examinations can be, and that will be the basis of your answer for question number one. Okay. Um, Question number two, if examinations were irrelevant, educational institutions would have abandoned examinations a long time ago, with or without pandemic. Evaluate one significant value or benefit of examination to educators that makes the assessment worth keeping. Now, this question is a bit open. It does not ask you to relate your answer to this article, meaning that from your own reading and from your own understanding of the grasp of the issue, okay, evaluate what would be the value or benefit of examinations that make us, educational institutions, still want to use it despite the limitations and the disadvantages that examination has. Okay, so this one really requires reading, but when you want to cite any particular article, make sure that when you want to refer to any particular articles in presenting your answer, make sure that you cite these articles. Okay. And the third one, analyze two assessment tasks or strategies proposed by the authors as alternatives to examinations. Do you agree that these tasks or strategies are effective replacement to examinations? Support your answer with two justifications. There are so many two here. Okay, so first off, your answer must relate to the article. Okay, so what are two assessment tasks or strategies that the authors have recommended in this article? There are several. I don't want to point out. You should be able to find that when you read and go through this article. So identify two assessment tasks and strategies that have been proposed by the authors. Okay. And analyze these two strategies that you have selected based on what the authors have presented, and evaluate in relation to, are these assessment tasks and strategies a good alternative or good replacement to examinations? Do they provide similar data? Do they provide similar evidence of learning? Are they worth using in replacement to examinations? So what would be your argument? So you have to find two and see how good these two are in relation to replacing examinations. And in your answer, make sure that you provide two justifications. Okay, these two justifications doesn't mean that you need to have two justifications for each of these. You can just present these two and then just provide two justifications for both of these. Just two will be enough. Okay, and when exactly do you have to submit this assignment? This article review is due on December 11, roughly a month from now, 11:59 p.m. Okay, that will be the week after you've come back from, I guess, the second week after you've come back from your midterm break. All right. So should you have any questions, feel free to buzz me, gitu. So all the best in completing this assignment, and I wish you the best of luck with the best of health, and may you are being prevented from all these negativities that are surrounding us. Gitu. Okay, take care everyone. Bye. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera.